Yeah, 100%. I am so glad you're in. Let's do this together. Oh, hi. You know, no matter who you are, what you do, and where you're at in your business, you are always selling, which means you need an elevator pitch. I first discovered the power of just how much you can say in just a few seconds in an elevator in Montreal. I had just seen a concert with Bella Fleck and the Flecktones at the Montreal Jazz Festival, and lo and behold, a few minutes after the show ended, I ended up in an elevator with the bassist, Victor Wooten himself. And he was there, I was looking at him, he was looking at me, and all I could think of to say was, "Your hands move like birds." And his whole face lit up, and I could tell that I made his day. And all it took were those 5 simple words. So an elevator pitch is a super short, think 30 seconds or less way of introducing yourself or getting across a key point or two and making a valuable connection with another human being. But so many entrepreneurs, business owners, and job seekers don't have one, and they end up rambling and rambling and rambling, leading their audiences to tune them out pretty much completely. My name is Marisa Murgatroyd, and I've helped over 12,000 entrepreneurs grow profitable and fulfilling businesses while forming valuable partnerships and relationships all over the business world. But what if I approached an important business conversation more like this? I'm Marisa, and I want to do everything, and I'm good with everything, and at everything, and please work with me, please work with me. I wouldn't be very successful, right? Yet I hear so many entrepreneurs making this mistake, rambling on because they're nervous, and they don't know how to position themselves. But what if I told you that there's a simple elevator pitch formula that you can follow, that you can use to sell anything, including yourself? There is, and I'm going to share it with you right now. So grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, and listen up as I take you through this quick framework with examples that you can use for your next pitch, or just the next time you find yourself in an elevator with someone famous or a potential client. So regardless of whether you want to close a sale with a potential client, or you want to build an important partnership at your next networking event, or even just get to know someone on LinkedIn, regardless of your goal, this formula is gonna work for you. But before we dive in, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because I've got so many videos like this one that you won't want to miss. So hit subscribe, and now let's keep going. So step number 1 of defining your elevator pitch is actually defining your audience, because you need to know who you're talking to. And so many people try to use the exact same pitch no matter the audience, and that flat out doesn't work. So if you don't clearly define who your ideal audience is, who your perfect people are, and then speak to them, nothing you say is gonna matter. I knew who I was in that elevator with. I knew that Victor Wooten would be excited that I saw how fast he could shred on that bass. And if you are trying to sell a startup, you're going to talk to them in a very different way than you would a major Fortune 500 corporation, even if you're selling the exact same product or the exact same service, right? Because they're different, and what they want to hear are different. They have different needs, they have different budgets, they have different ways of working. That's step 1, define your audience. And step 2 is to define your purpose. What's the end goal for your elevator pitch? Is it to make a sale? Is it to get a second conversation, or nail down a spot to speak on someone else's stage, maybe build an important partnership? Start with that end goal in mind, because how you pitch an immediate sale versus trying to get a follow-up conversation is gonna be different. So what you say, it's gonna change based on who you're talking to and what you're hoping the result of that conversation is gonna be. So from there, once you have that context, step 3 is to come up with your 1-sentence pitch. Now, this 1 sentence is going to demonstrate your value right off the bat and get someone hooked. And you can do it using a very simple formula. I help X do Y so that Z. Where I help X is the kind of person you help, step 1, achieve Y, which is what you really help them do, what your solution is, So that Z, what is the end result of this? Now, I've taught this process to students for years, and I want to share just a few examples from my Momentum students, and that's my year-long business growth program, so you can see how this works in practice. And I'm not going to introduce each student because I'm going to let their XYZ statement introduce them to you. So Katja Rusnen says, I help coaches and healers find and share the silver lining in their most painful experiences so they can help others and make a meaningful impact in the world. We've got Beth Ellen Nash, who says, I empower dyslexics to gain skills and confidence so they can thrive in school and in life. And then there's Kelly Waters. Her statement is, I help women who struggle with yo-yo dieting, emotional overeating, and binge eating to overcome their issues by understanding their brain chemistry and how this links to food and their stories so they can naturally find balance, reduce cravings, and learn to enjoy food and find freedom from it at the same time. So now that you've heard a few examples, before we move on to step 4, take a moment to write your elevator pitch. And remember, progress over perfection. Don't try to get this perfect. Just take a stab, let the words flow. You can always come back to this later, and I promise you're gonna fine tune and refine this as you practice and say this out in the real world, and then see the expressions you get back. Whether someone lights up, they lean in, they ask you the money questions, tell me more, where can I sign up? Oh, I've got to introduce you to my friend. Whatever that happens to be, that is a good sign. But if people just go blank or look disinterested, keep working on it until you get it right. As long as you're speaking to your perfect customer, the words you say in this elevator pitch should open them up to wanting to hear more. So pause the video, write your one-sentence pitch, and then come back. Welcome back. Go ahead, put your one-sentence pitch in the comments right now. I'd love to read them, maybe even suggest a few edits. Plus, when you put it out there, you make it real, and someone watching this video might scroll down, read your comments, and be so impressed that they want to reach out to you. So no matter where you practice your elevator pitch, just go for it. Just do it and see what happens. That leads us to step 4. From the one-sentence pitch, you get to expand into a full pitch. Because if that one sentence really lands for someone, they're going to ask you, tell me more. And you want to be able to back up that first sentence with more juicy goodness. In that full pitch, you want to include a few things. You want to speak to the challenge the person you're talking to, your ideal client, your perfect person, might be having. Because the best offers speak to a specific problem or challenge. Maybe you start with a story that paints a picture and then makes that connection to them, to the person you're talking to. Then you want to be able to really share your solution, what you really do. And then say why the solution is for them, why someone wants to take action now, and why you're the one to support them. Now that's just one small piece of messaging that can start to open doors for you, what I call the XYZ statement. And there are a whole lot more pieces of messaging that you can use in different situations outside of that elevator to really get people excited and leaning in and wanting to work with you. And if you want to learn my entire Level 4 message framework, which is how you craft each piece of your marketing message, including what you do, who you serve, how you're different, your niche, your tribe, your value, and your brand, then join me at my annual Live Your Message Live online event. This is a 3-day business building virtual event that I only do once a year. Now, there's going to be over 1,500 entrepreneurs there from every corner of the globe. Last year, we had over a third of the countries on earth represented. So come ready to make some valuable connections and practice that XYZ statement that you just worked on. So head on over to liveyourmessagelive.com to snag your ticket. Here's that simple elevator pitch formula one more time. Step 1, define your audience. Step 2, define the purpose of your pitch. Step 3, come up with your one-sentence pitch. And then step 4, craft the full pitch containing the challenge you solve, your solution, and the all-important questions, why this, why now, why you. Once you have that, you can start a conversation with anyone, anywhere. Now, before you go, I wanted to show you the pitch formula in action. Here's how I personally pitch that annual 3-day business growth accelerator Live Your Message Live that I was just telling you about. Are you a budding entrepreneur who's not quite sure what to do next to start or grow your business? Well, what if you could jump on Zoom feeling overwhelmed and then jump off 3 days later with an exact roadmap for what to say, do, and sell to grow your business fast? And the best part about it is that it will all fit on one sheet of paper. You see what I did there? Doesn't it make you want to go grab your ticket right now? Well, you can. Just head to liveyourmessagelive.com, and if you're watching this video after March 5th, 2023, don't worry, because we do Live Your Message Live every year in early March. Now, one quick tip before you go. Try incorporating any objections and possible questions you think might arise when you share what you do with people. That way, you're overcoming objections right off the bat, right there in your full pitch. Now go out there, craft your full pitch, and keep practicing it and revising it as you go, because that's when the magic starts to happen. And if you want to keep learning right here, right now, I've got a couple more videos you might like. 7 simple steps to create your personal brand, and how to speak so people want to listen. All right, see you in the next video. Until then, go out there and live your message.